Sunday morning.
sHiZ.
Fire this out. Interesting. Lowry here. Got building like this in a while. Here's Whole Foods headquarters. Called the Austin. Oh, here's the. It is cold.
sHiZ.
It's probably like 45, 50. To me, that's cold. You know? And we were in Chicago for 6 months during that blizzard. I remember when it was 25 degrees one day, and then the next day it's 35, and we're like, oh man, it's warm outside. Hey, let's go outside. And you went outside with just a sweater, you know, because it didn't feel that cold. Because yesterday was very cold, you know. So I remember comparing the difference, you know, when you live in an area for a very long time, you get used to the climate. In Texas, being very hot most of the year, when it does drop down to 45, 50, a lot of people don't like that. Now, there are some who love the cold. I know there's some people are like, oh, I'm glad it's getting cold. I wish it gets colder. I'm like, no, keep it right here. You know, 70, yes, I can do that. I can do 70, I can do 80, I can do 90. Anything above 95, then that's when I start complaining. You know, so it's funny. Since I come here every single week, I decided to talk about what's going on in this convention center. Today is the Texas EMS, Emergency Medical Services Convention. And it seems like it's going to be going on for a few days, and it'll be all right. I'm not going to go into the convention, but every time I come here, I always find some interesting things. Last week it was a drum competition, I believe. My phone's freezing up again. Sucks. I just read something on the internet, and I'll provide the link in the description below so you guys can read it for yourself. But it was a discussion that Steve Wozniak, I didn't read the location or why he was giving this speech, probably just giving a speech at some local college or some event, but what he mentioned is that the co-founder of Apple, who really doesn't have much control over Apple anymore, you know, but he is still the co-founder with him and Steve Jobs, is that iTunes should be made available on both Android and Windows Phone. I totally agree. They should open up that market. Now, one of the commenters mentioned that it's not the fact that should iTunes open up their market, whether they want to do it or not, it's whether the music that they have licensed on their network, would they allow it? Do they have a license to open up the music that's sold on iTunes to Android and Windows Phone? So here's what I can see happening. If that's the case, and if that is such an agreement that they have with the record companies, that a lot of music that iTunes has in their library may not all be available on the in the library of Windows Phone and Android. Now, this will produce a very interesting competition. If Google Play, which can offer music, movies, podcasts, and other features that can make some money for Google, if Windows or Xbox Live and iTunes is available on all three platforms, that will make an amazing competition thing that will definitely add some value to all mobile phones. Because here's the thing. There are some people who switch platforms like every year. They're like, okay, I'm going to have an Android. Oh, okay, I'm tired of Android. I'm going to go to iTunes or iPhone, I mean. Oh, no, okay, I want to switch to Windows Phone. There are people like that. There are people in this world that will switch from one phone to another, one platform to another, because they're that kind of person, you know? They're not stuck on one particular platform like I am, you know? Man, I'm doing my 2.5 mile walk again tonight, just like I did in the last vlog. Yo. And you know what? I looked at myself recently, and I didn't see any difference, but my wife, she's telling me that I am thinning out a little bit. You know, things are starting to look good now. And I'm like, wow. Because I didn't realize how big I'd gotten until I saw that picture of myself during that fatty video. And I'm like, man, I gotten big, you know? And the thing is, I guess it's like that for a lot of fat people, people who are overweight, is that they don't really notice themselves that they're getting big. I mean, it's like you kind of ignore it. And it's not really on purpose. I mean, okay, people think, you know, people who are skinny, you know, who are easily able to maintain their weight, or people who have the motivation to keep it off, you know, because they exercise, they run, they do a lot of stuff, you know, or they eat the right things. You know, they're a person who loves food and who's addicted to food like I am. I am addicted to food. I have to admit to that. Food is delicious, and it's not just that, because food is delicious to even skinny people. Food is like an addiction. It's like a drug. And there's a show on TV called The Shopping Addiction or Shopping Addicts or something like that. It's on Oxygen TV. Shopping is a drug to them. So there's different things that different people are addicted to, and I think everybody has some form of addiction. There are people who are addicted to the gym, and that's all they do on their spare time is lift weights, exercise, and they push their bodies to the limit. And those are the kind of people that fat people envy, because we wish that we could do that, but we don't have any type of motivation to wanting to get out there and do something about our fat. That's why I'm happy that we did get rid of the car when the car just simply did not work anymore, because now it's forcing me to get off my ass and walk. And I'm walking a lot now. This could have been approved in Android 4.0, but I do question the security of this phone when in locked mode, like when the phone is in sleep mode. I can plug in a USB cable and get access to all my files. Now, I remember on a Windows phone, and this is what I remember when I had one, and iPhone too, iPhone as well, that when I plugged the USB cable into the phone, iTunes would not budge until the phone was unlocked. Because the iPhone was like, hey, are you sure you want, this computer to access this phone? Now, what it does on my current phone, even in locked mode, it doesn't have to be unlocked. It's locked. It's on that first screen. It will pop up with a message saying, do you want to turn on USB something or another? I press the button. It gives me a confirmation, okay or cancel. I press okay, and then all my files are accessible. Again, this could be improved with 4.0. I don't have 4.0, but with 2.3, this is the issue that I have with security on my phone. Someone may not know my lock code, so they can't get into my phone, but if they want to get access to some of my files on my phone, I have a question about that. Because I remember even on a Windows Phone 7, you could not plug in and get access to your files. But if you had Zoom software, if the phone was locked, Zoom would not activate it. Zoom would say you need to unlock your phone in order to, access, the features. And then you unlock the phone, and then at that point, it will give you access. Now, with Windows Phone 8, that may be different. I hope it isn't, because it should not be that way. You should be forced to unlock your phone, and in most cases, of course, your phone, has a, 4-digit, password, and you punch that in, and then your computer is allowed to have access. So that's the only problem with security is concerned. But one thing that people, do know in life, and we all know this to be a fact, things continue on as, with or without that person who was leading it. So the leader of the iPhone development and the leader of the Windows and the Microsoft Surface development, them leaving the company is not going to affect how Microsoft is going to continue on. Yes, people can say that Steve Jobs, may be the fall of Apple, but I don't think so. I just think they need to get rid of Tim Cook, okay? Or just take him off the CEO seat and let someone else run that company who has the same passion as Steve Jobs. Wozniak, I don't think he's the right guy for it. He's too far gone. He's been in retirement for years, okay? Years. I mean, do you think that he will want to step back in the seat as CEO? Hey, he could surprise me, though. It could be a surprise. But Steve Wozniak was not a leader. He was a developer. He had the mind to build the Apple computer. I mean, he had that mind, and he was a brilliant man. I mean, he brought the Apple computer to the schools and to many desktops at home. And yes, it was very expensive back then, but I mean, just think about how many desktops had an Apple computer, including that app. You have to admit, the Apple IIGS was the bomb back in the days. It was like, I remember looking at the graphics on that thing. I'm like, wow, it looks so realistic. It was like simple 2D, 16 color graphics, and as compared to the 3 color graphics that you had. What was it? Purple, green, and white? Yeah, it was purple, green, and white, I think. Yeah, purple, green, white. That was pretty interesting, what you can make with purple, green, and white. And so those were the color choices that we had with the earlier versions of Apple. And then they made Apple IIGS, and it was gorgeous. It was like, wow. And it was a good-looking computer for the time. I mean, you remember it had that little box, had like a little thing that stood out a little bit in front, had a nice little keyboard and attachable mouse. Did it have a mouse? Wait a minute, hold on. I actually can't remember if it had a mouse or not. But it was a nifty little computer, I started working on PCs, which was Windows 3.1. It was some version of Windows. And actually, no, it wasn't. I'm really thinking back here, because it was strictly DOS. I remember that. We had to learn DOS in order to open WordPress. Or not WordPress, it was... guys, I really have to think back about this, because Microsoft Word and all that wasn't invented yet, but I think Corel had a Word program that was strictly DOS. And you had to learn a few commands like bold, and you used the mouse to highlight text. And it was still in DOS, but you created your Word document in DOS, and it looked sort of like HTML. It actually looked like more like BBS. Yeah, if any of you guys know what that means. It's a form. A lot of forums uses that syntax still. But it was sort of like BBS. And I remember, I mean, that goes way back. Oh my God. I remember I started working on Windows 3.1 at one of my jobs. And I remember it was still DOS-based. It was in the background was still DOS-based. I guess most Windows applications is still DOS-based, but it was strictly DOS-based, and it just had a front. You know, the Windows was just a front, and it was just a launcher of your applications and some settings, but mostly DOS was running in the background. And then Windows 95 came out shortly after, Windows 98, which was not as good as Windows 95. A lot of companies didn't switch over to 98 because it was not stable. But that's when they were trying to introduce the NT kernel, was in 98 and me. Windows 7 is probably the most stable. Oh, then we had Windows XP, that's right. I forgot about that one, which was a lot more stable. It had a lot more security parameters, which there are very few companies today that are still using Windows 95, but there are a lot of companies still using Windows XP. A lot of the companies that has a larger budget in the IT department are using Windows 7. Will they switch to Windows 8? I don't think so. I think a lot of enterprises will purchase tablets with Windows 8 on it, but as far as the desktop computer, no, I don't see that happening anytime soon. I really don't see any of the enterprise replacing their desktops until like Windows 9, maybe Windows 10. I know cell phones they tend to get hot when it does a lot of recording. My cell phone will love being out here in the cold because it will keep it cool while it's recording. All right, so I'm almost at the train station. I'm going to check out for now and smoke a cigarette before the train comes. Peace. Remember that shot from a few weeks ago? It was all reddy sky, all red and fire. It was like fire in the sky. It was that shot right there. Well, it's
sHiZ.
not so fiery now, but... And one of the pictures I took, it was fog one morning, and that crane has a few lights on it, that construction crane, and all you saw was those lights pointing down. You didn't see the crane at all. It looked pretty spooky. It looked like a spaceship in the sky. Good evening. It is Tuesday night, I think. Yeah, it's Tuesday night. I don't know what date it is, but show it now. Right there. That's what time it is. That's the time. There we go. Alright, so anyway. Little long day. But it was a great day today. What I do is I take requests in all day. And when Whole Foods starts to hire for a holiday, they hire a lot of people. So then, therefore, I had to. They send a lot of requests for accounts and emails and different access to different store services that has to be activated for all the new employees. Well, Whole Foods has a lot of stores. Whole Foods has a lot of employees. They hire a lot of people. Therefore, we had like over 600 to 1,000 requests per day. We got behind. At one time, we were like a week behind on those requests. Today, we got down to 0. And that's only because the amount of requests has reduced. All right, so here I am, waiting on the number 3 to go home. Peace out. It's Wednesday. The worst day of the week for me. Oh, you know what? There we go. I noticed that in last week's vlog, which I just finished last night, it finished rendering, and all I gotta do is upload it to YouTube and the website. But I noticed that my vlogs has been sounding like this lately, and I always wondered why. The reason for that is because I found a way to keep the camera a little bit more steady, like this, when I'm walking. So it's not doing all this. It's a little bit more steady. That's as steady as I can get it. The thing is, I was covering up, holding like this, I was covering up the microphone. So I sounded very muddy. So I just now realized why I was doing that. And I was wondering, so why is my voice so muddy? You know? Someone recommended that I use an external microphone. And I'm like, if I use an external microphone, well, cell phones don't have that capability. Or at least, and I don't get that. A lot of people have made several comments on the internet, no matter what phone you have, unless there is a phone that does it, but as far as I know, there isn't. People on an iPhone, Android, and Windows Phone, they have asked, why can't I use my Bluetooth headset as a microphone for video recording? I don't get that either. Why can't we do that? Or plug in an external mic. It will only allow you to record audio from the built-in mic. And as we all know, if you use an external mic, you may get better quality sound. I mean, I would love to buy a Bluetooth headset and be able to talk to you guys through that, because I know the sound quality will be slightly better. Or maybe I can get one of those wireless lapel mics. Get a little lapel, and the quality of the sound will be tremendously better. But no phone out there does that. There isn't, as far as I know. And people have been asking for that feature for the longest time. But the microphone that's built into the phone, so I think the only way to improve that is just to buy a separate camera altogether. And I was definitely looking at the GoPro Hero 3, which I've seen a lot of videos that were, you know, actually made by GoPro staff, or, you know, made by GoPro themselves. And I watched a lot of videos made by people who just uploaded their own videos. I just read an article, and can't cover it up the microphone. I just read an article about the Department of Veterans Affairs is switching to Office 365. It seems like a lot of government offices, like the major governments, are switching to Office 365 to save money instead of using their on-premise Exchange servers and collaboration tools. And it's the VA. I mean, wow. I think that's amazing that they're switching to a cloud-based service. And there's a lot of companies that are with Google Apps, and there are a lot of companies switching to Google Apps for their cloud-based services, simply because it is cheaper than Office 365. Office 365 charges $6 a month for the small business package, $8 a month per person, per user. Keep in mind that all services is per user, per month. And it's $8 a person for the enterprise version, which is way better. If you do use Office 365, don't get with the small business one, the professional one. Get with the enterprise. Okay, medium-sized business and enterprise versions, which is $8 a month or higher. And you have several tiers of services that you can pick from on Office 365. Now, Google services is just $5 a month, period, for per user per month. And they even have a cheaper rate, which is $50 a year per user, which is a great service as well. A lot of people are familiar with Gmail, and so a lot of companies choose Google Apps because a lot of people are familiar with Gmail. but you don't quite get that enterprise like you'll get with Microsoft Office 365. You don't quite get that enterprise-ness, if there's such a word. Microsoft Office 365 is made for enterprise because it's using services that are already implemented in many businesses. So if you're in communication with a lot of other companies, you have a lot of external partners, most likely they're going to either have Office 365 themselves, or they're going to have Microsoft Exchange and Microsoft SharePoint. So naturally, your services that you are paying for and their services will communicate well together without any type of incompatibilities. With Google, you have to get to learn a slightly different way of working. It works okay with Microsoft Outlook. A lot of people are very familiar with Outlook, even though people who go with Google Apps tell their employers to go ahead and use the web-based version, which is probably better. If you're with Google Apps, just be completely web-based. Just use Google Chrome, and you'll be good to go. All right, my bus is coming, so peace out. Got here. Usually I wait about 30 minutes for the number 3 to come when I get to this bus stop. But the number 3 was making a right, so I was a little bit early and missed it. I would have got home just a tad bit early. It would have been nice. It really would have. Oh, I forgot. It muffles when I put it. See this? Oh, I hate this. Okay, hold on. Today, wow, it was cold this morning. It was very chilly. It was pretty much chilly all day, but tonight I'm wearing just a sweater. Seriously, I'm only wearing a sweater. It is not cold at all. My jacket's in my backpack. It's still chilly, but it's not chilly. Okay, there's a difference between chilly and chilly. Okay, it's not bad at all. And I guess so there I go with the again. Agains. Agains is not a word, I know. And there is the word and long, and as I try to get my thoughts together. In the next few days, we're going to be experiencing some pretty decent weather. High 70s in the mornings, actually it's going to be in the high 60s in the morning and low 70s in the afternoon, which is pretty decent. I'd rather have that than to be 41 degrees like it was the other day. That was too cold. I'm sorry. I don't like it that cold. People are like, oh yeah, this is nice. It's cold. Oh yeah. I'm like, when they move your ass back to Montana. Shit. I don't want to experience it. I'm in the Southwest for a reason. What I need to do is move my ass back to California, but damn, it's expensive out there. It is. The only reason I'm not living in California is because it's expensive. I'm not scared of earthquakes. It's expensive. It's very costly. It costs a lot of money to live there. You have to be a king to live there. Seriously. I mean, you really have to have a really good job, or else you'll be living in poverty. And so, that's why I'm not living in California. I would love to be in California because California has 5 major theme parks within a 30-mile radius. The reason why I say 30, because Magic Mountain, Six Flags Magic Mountain is only like 20 miles. Disneyland is within 10 miles. Knott's Berry Farm is within 10 miles. Universal Studios is in the smack dab in the middle of LA, almost. It's like north of Hollywood, south of North Hollywood, in between North Hollywood and Hollywood, right next to Studio City. And should I continue? Okay, no? Okay. And then SeaWorld is like about 30 miles away because it's in San Diego. So within, a 20-mile radius, you got 4 major theme parks. Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm, Universal Studios, and Six Flags Magic Mountain. I miss that. I really do. 3 of those are accessible by way of bus and train. One of them is accessible by driving. Magic Mountain is like up in the mountain somewhere. And yes, you can probably get there on train, but it's a little bit harder. And then if you had a car, of course, you can get there, you know, just about it very easily. I mean, it was awesome. Then they had, you know, a really awesome transportation system. Not as good as New York and Chicago, of course. But LA does have a really decent transportation system, and they're expanding like a couple of lines, like 1 or 2 lines every 3 or 4 years. So every 3 or 4 years to open a new line, they're doing something extra. And they're still building, even today. So they're expanding. Hollywood is in LA. You know, the wonderful, awesome restaurants and shopping and tourism. Everything that I'm used to, basically. Because I was born and raised there, so that's why I miss California. But it is expensive to live there. Just like it's expensive to live in Chicago. When we were in Chicago a couple of years ago, my God, it was expensive. Right next door is poor-ass Indiana. And it was cheap. But do I want to live in Indiana? Oh, hell the hell no. Do I want to live where Martin Luther King grew up? Hell no. I ain't going to be in... I ain't. Okay, I'll say it like that. I ain't going to be living in Indiana. Fuck the hell that. You can kiss my ass on that shit. Indiana, oh, I won't be caught dead in it. And that's why we got out of Chicago, because we couldn't be caught dead in Chicago. Fuck that. I mean, I could be caught dead in Austin, Texas, but it'll be 150 years from now. Yeah, I plan to live 150 years. I think at that point I'll be like, all right, it's time to go. I'm 40 years old now. I'm like 10 years from being 50. I'm going to live to see 140 years old before I decide to kick the bucket. And it's going to be just like this. I'm predicting that I'm just going to wake up one day and be like, God damn, world, I've seen you for 140 years. This is 140 years. Wow. That's a long time, but you know, Mother Earth, it's time for me to go. I'm just go ahead and check out right now. Just bam, check out. Forget the whole damn thing. Peace out. That's not my bus. It's the rail connector. Yeah. Anyway. The rail connector. Ooh. It doesn't really go anywhere, but it's called the rail connector. It's called a rail connector. Connector. Rail connector. Anyway. Oh, man. Have you seen that commercial on TV? It's at Daryl beatboxing. But you don't see her at first. You don't really see her. In fact, you don't see her at all. All you see is just a bunch of things happening on the screen. And it's like, you know, and it's a Google tablet. It's one of the Android tablets. I don't remember which one. I think it could be the Nexus, who knows, or the Note. And it's a bunch of, you know, things happening, but the action that's happening on the screen is going with the beatbox. And then it shows this home chick going, boom, 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 boom. I mean, she's turning this shit up. I'm like, good old. It's not a black girl either. No, not a black girl. The bitch is white. I'm like, I mean, she's like, I mean, she was tearing it up. I'm sorry. She was fucking it up better than I could. I consider myself a decent beatboxer, but nah, she was a pro. She is pro bitch. She was tearing that shit up. I was like, God damn. And I think they probably picked her out for YouTube. I really think so. I really think they picked her out of YouTube. She probably has a bunch of YouTube videos of her beatboxing, and then she was called up by YouTube, or Google actually. Google said, hey, we want you to do a commercial about our Nexus tablet or whatever the hell they're making. And she did it. She did a good job. She was going to town. You know? So, I know a lot of these, Apple, what is up with Apple? I mean, seriously, what is up with Apple? Really? They haven't really done anything. The only commercial I've seen so far is in the iPad 2 or 3 or 4, whatever the fuck it is, has beautiful retina display. Oh, shut up, Tim Cook. You suck. Sorry. I mean, hey, I'm not an Apple fan, and I do use Google, so I guess I'm a Google user. I'm a Microsoft fan. I'm a Google user, and I'm not an Apple fan. But I'm sorry, Steve Jobs did the damn thing. I have to admit that. He ran that company and brought that company up when Wozniak couldn't do it himself. Wozniak is not, I said Wozniak. The Woz himself, right? The Woz. Not the Wizard of Oz. Okay? Not to be confused with that. Because Wozniak is not the Wizard of Oz. Okay? I just want to make sure you guys know that. He is not the wizard. Okay? No, he's the Wiz. He's definitely not the Wiz. He's definitely not Richard Pryor. Okay? Okay? Now, the Oz. The Woz, okay? The Woz, the man, he's the man, right? He is the man. Now, he helped build my Apple, okay? He helped build Apple. But I'm telling you, Steve Jobs was the one that brought Apple to where it's at now, even being a company above Microsoft. Apple is the richest company in the world, above Microsoft. And it's not just, there's just a couple billions of dollars up. No. They're several $1 billion above Microsoft. And it doesn't make any sense, really, because Microsoft is the leading company that has enterprise software. They are. You have to admit that. Every company has Microsoft Office, Microsoft Exchange, Microsoft SharePoint. There's only a few people that are on Google Apps. And the only reason why Microsoft went over to do cloud computing is because Google Apps was stealing some of their thunder. But Microsoft still leads in enterprise software. They do. Okay, and that's the only thing. And of course, Windows. Microsoft Office and Windows is what helped build Microsoft. And then of course, all the other services that they offer. Google is nowhere near where Microsoft's at. That could change. I mean, who knows? Shit changes all the time. It does. And it could be a whole new startup that's developing right now in someone's garage that's going to blow everybody out. It's going to blow Google, it's going to blow Microsoft, and it's going to blow Apple off the map. It's going to be like, bam! And Google's be like, oh, what the fuck just happened? And Microsoft's going to be like, oh, shit. Our ship has sunk. And Apple's going to be like, damn, sorry, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs will be rolling his fucking coffin. What the fuck are you guys doing? A new startup is going to blow everybody up. And, and nothing lasts forever. That's what you have to remember. Nothing lasts forever. Just when you thought, Hostess, really? Hostess. It's a possibility that Hostess may go out of business. So what the hell is going to happen with Twinkies? God damn. Twinkies, man. Fat people's favorite snack food. Come on. Twinkies. Man, I mean, who wants to see that shit go? Here comes the double headlight bicycle that scared the shit out of me. I was like, is that a car on a sidewalk? Nah, it's a fucking bicycle with double headlights. I'll let that motherfucker go. But man, I tell you, man, what's happening in technology? Man, we got two major players in the tech world leaving their respective companies. The iPhone designer, or the head of iPhone development, gone. The head of Windows development, gone. I mean, he was with Microsoft for over 25 years. 23 years, I think it said. 23 years of working at Microsoft, and finally he's like, fuck y'all, I'm out of here. And you know, and no one knows why. We can only speculate why the iPhone chief left and why the Windows chief left. Well, we can only speculate. And it was just a few months ago when they were demonstrating the Surface, and the Surface failed on them. And there's a lot of failed videos on YouTube talking about Microsoft Surface fail. About that, you know, it's you can tease Microsoft Surface all you want, but there are plenty of videos of Apple failing too when Steve Jobs was introducing certain Apple products and it failed live. Technology is not perfect, folks. It happens. There's a lot of is that a bug or freaking what the hell is that thing? Yeah, it's too dark to see it. There's a lot of reviews about Microsoft Surface and how it, you know, it's half and half. It's really interesting that when it comes to Surface and how people are reviewing it, it's 50% love it to death. They're like, oh, this is a bomb, man. But you know, and I noticed that half those people that love Microsoft Surface, I'm talking about half the people that love Microsoft Surface after buying it are Apple haters, okay? Like me. You know what I'm saying? They're Apple haters, okay? The other half of the people that love Microsoft Surface after buying it are disliking the Surface, and they're like, hey, they're pleased with it. They're like, this is cool shit. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Then you got the other half of the people that bought Microsoft Surface that are haters. And now there's 50 and 50 of that too. 50% of the people that did not like Microsoft Surface after buying it had issues with lag, is one of them, and not enough apps. And that's true. There is not enough apps as compared to what iPad and Android has. Okay, there's a crap load of apps available for iPad. iPad alone has over 250,000 apps. iPad supported apps. There's over 250,000 apps available for it. And that does not include the 700,000 apps that can run on iPhone that can also run on iPad. Amazing. That is amazing. You have to admit that is amazing. Okay? I'm not an app person. On my phone right now, I probably have 10 apps. When I get a Windows Phone 8, I probably will have installed maybe 20 apps because the features that come with the phone already is what I like. But let's go back to Microsoft Surface really quick. 50% of the people that bought Microsoft Surface after buying it, okay, said they did not like Microsoft Surface because of the lag. There's a lot of lag, not enough apps. I'm sorry. Not enough apps. That's why I don't like it. I'm going to wrap it back up and send it back to the company because, yeah. And then the other 50% of the people that don't like Microsoft Surface after they bought it stated that they just didn't like it. Plain and simple. That's it. But people who were experiencing lag, it is Microsoft's first product, and I support Microsoft. You know that I'm a Microsoft fan all the way, 100%. I mean, I'll take it to the field goal and all that. And if money was of no object now, I will have a Surface right now. I will have a Nokia Lumia 920. You know what I'm saying? And You know, and there's some problems with it. But the other 50% doesn't have any problems with it whatsoever. So what I'm guessing is that depending on the type of user you are and what services you are using on it, I think that the 50% of those people are the ones that are using features that work flawlessly. Probably. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell because Microsoft has not released a report on what's happening with Microsoft Surface just yet. They haven't. There isn't anything about it. I'm at 20 minutes right now in this video, and it will cut me off at 30. Yeah, there isn't really anything that Microsoft has released as far as how well Microsoft Surface is selling and how well it's doing when it comes to returns. Okay? So, you know, if I have bought Surface, I would never return it because I know that updates will happen, and the second iteration of Microsoft Surface may be even better. But we'll see. I mean, you know, I really don't think Microsoft Surface has been field tested correctly because they kept it so secret for so many months, and it's like we didn't know nothing about Surface until it actually came out. And there's a lot of people out there who are actually waiting for the Surface Pro because they have a lot of legacy software that they need to run that may not be converted to Metro style for a while. And that's true. I haven't heard any word from Sony or Adobe about making their software Metro. And I'm going to continue to say Metro until I get used to saying modern. So there isn't really anything out there or any type of news or future announcements of Adobe and Sony producing software that's going to work in the Metro environment. So that's to be seen. I think that's my bus coming. I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard for me to see around that corner there. And I'm sorry you're not really seeing anything. It is nighttime. And this is all you get, basically. All right, so since my bus is coming, it's coming around the corner. When she comes, when she comes. All right, yeah, that's my bus. All right, peace out, everybody. Hello. All right, how you doing? All right, just got off the bus, and I'm headed to my room now, my home, my new home. And I was doing something really interesting, which I think a lot of carriers should try, but it's in trial mode now. This weekend, we got the Formula One coming here, and it's a brand new racetrack that just been built, and it's going to bring a lot of tourism, a lot of people. So, you know, of course, the whole city is gearing up for this big event. Now, the Metro, Capital Metro and the Metro buses, they're gearing up too, trying to reroute transit, adding more buses, and you know they're just doing a lot of stuff to make this event as flawless as possible. The people don't have to drive everywhere; they can take a bus or train wherever they got to go. Unfortunately, I won't be involved in the first few weeks of Formula One. I don't want to be involved in a big rush when it first opens, but I'm definitely going to go one week to check it out and see how it is. Because I am a fan of races in person. I don't watch it on TV. The TV is boring. But in person, it's just fun. You know, it's a fun event, and it's exciting. And I used to go to the Long Beach Grand Prix every year just to watch the cars go around the track and enjoy the festivities. But, I mean, there's a lot of things happening this weekend regarding the Grand Prix Formula One. One thing that they're trying during these for 2 weeks from the 10th to the 24th is you can download a, what's it called? Capital Metro app. It's a Capital Metro app. It's only for Android and iPhone. I imagine that if Windows Phone picks up and sells and becomes a more popular phone, they'll probably have a Windows Phone version as well. But for now, it's Android and iPhone. That'll be one reason for me to get an iPhone, right? Or an Android. Because not every app is available for Windows Phone. And what it does is you can download this app and install it on your phone. And when you purchase, you can purchase a pass on your phone, whether it's a 31-day pass or a 7-day pass, or you can just purchase a daily pass. You do it on your phone becomes your pass. It's not using NFC technology though. Even though the buses do have the capabilities of NFC, it does have that capability. In fact, they use NFC cards now. So, and I'm thinking that, well, why don't they make an app that if the phone has NFC capability, they can just drop the phone on the cash machine and it will pick up the information. But how the works, and I asked the bus driver how it works, is that when you get on the bus, you open up the app, and the app will tell the bus driver that it's a valid pass. The bus driver, if he wants to, he can tap on the phone, and if it changes color, it has to be the right color for that day. Okay, I mean, I don't know exactly how that works, but every day it's supposed to change color. So if it changes color for that day, that will verify that it's not just a screenshot, of some sort. It's an actual, and it shows the date and time that the pass was bought and when the pass expires, so that the bus driver can validate the fare. Now, it'll be interesting if they integrated, like I said, NFC, and for like Androids that do have NFC capability, it will automatically detect that and then use the NFC capabilities of the phone. If it doesn't have NFC, of course, then that feature will be turned off, but still use the screenshot version. So I think that's a really interesting feature, and this is the first time I heard of something like this. There's probably other cities doing that right now. I just don't know about it. And as far as I know, LA's not doing it. Well, I think that's really interesting that your mobile phone becomes your pass, which is why we are trying to go mobile in the first place. This is a great adventure that we're stepping into in the future, is that everything is going mobile. Whether you have an iPhone, Android, or a Windows phone. Now, I just learned that the requirement of Windows Phone, NFC is not one of those requirements. So it's an option. So if the manufacturer decides to make a phone without NFC, if they can do that. And Microsoft has very strict rules on what the hardware is supposed to include. NFC is not one of them. And so I was like, really? You know, I kind of thought that NFC would have been one of those required features. Well, iPhone doesn't have NFC at all, which I was kind of surprised, and a lot of people were surprised that iPhone did not include NFC in iPhone 5. And then a lot of people are like, well, Apple they don't think that NFC technology is ready yet. Yes, it is. It's ready. But people were waiting for you, assholes. Seriously, people were waiting to see if Apple was going to include NFC on their phones. And because they didn't, it is their fault that they're stopping that technology from happening, from expanding. Because it could have been awesome. I'm mad at Apple because of that. I'm serious. I'm really mad at them about that. Because I see where it can go. Whether you're an iPhone, Android, or Windows Phone. And I kind of hope that Microsoft would have made it a required feature that all Windows Phone 8 included NFC. I really did wish that. You know, I was like, I wish that was a required feature, because then every Windows phone would have had it. But that's fine, okay. So it's an optional feature. But when I see it going, it's that, okay, I can leave my wallet at home. I can see where the state of California, or the state of, I live in Texas now, the state of Texas makes it where I can place my driving information, my driver's license information in my phone. My phone then becomes my ID. So when I go places, or if I get pulled over by the cops or whatever the case, I can just present my phone and voila. And with the wireless battery technology, which I wish most mobile phones go ahead and include that as a standard or at least an optional feature. Because with wireless battery charging technology, I can just sit my phone down in the center console of my car and voila. And using NFC technology, it automatically pairs up with my stereo system in my car, and voila. There goes my, you know, my stereo, my Spotify, and all that stuff. You know, that can play on the stereo system. And then, of course, phone calls will be hands-free. You know, it pairs it up, boom, 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 there it goes. But regardless of that, I mean, we got wireless technology battery. We got all that. And it will just make it so much easier. And I could just see where things were going. But because iPhone did not include NFC in their phones, a lot of companies won't be including NFC cash registers. They're going to be like, oh, well, iPhone didn't do it, so what's the point? But they got the wallet or the passport, so we're just going to have barcode scanning technology. So, of course, if they make a Starbucks app for Windows Phone, it will just include a barcode. NFC would have been so awesome. I am so serious. NFC would have been the ultimate. But that didn't happen, did it? So, I mean, Apple, yeah, there were some things that you did not do right this time. You guys were awesome. You guys were releasing shit that was blowing people's minds. iPhone 3GS was awesome. iPhone 4S was awesome. iPhone 5 is a piece of shit. Sorry, it is. It is not an upgrade in technology. Ugh. Well, I'm home now, so peace out. My batt is about to run out. That's right, my batt is about to run out. That's what it told me. It just said my batt is low. My batt. What are you talking about? Vampire bat? It's low? Am I out of blood or something? Well, I got to refill up with blood? I got to suck. Oh, whoa. What? Woo. I'm about to say something. Do I need to suck someone off to get some blood? Woo! That would have been. Wow. I'm like Flavor Flav. Wow. Okay. Wow. Woo. Okay. Do I have to suck some girls to get some blood? There you go. Hey. Suck it. Yeah. Oh, no, this is not that kind of. Wow. Am I taking it there? What's wrong with me tonight? For some reason, I'm taking it there tonight. I don't know what's up. Woo. I gotta. You know what? That'll be one thing I might have to bleep out. Yep. That's gotta be bleeped out. Woo, boy. I mean, you know, and I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't. I just don't. I don't do any kind of drugs. Except for bear. That's right. I get a bear. And I don't mean B-E-A-R. I get Bayer. Bayer. Advanced formula. That's the shit right there, I'm telling you. If you ever had the Bayer Advanced, it just came out. Ooh, that shit will knock out your headache like ain't no tomorrow. Be like, you take it, be like, boom, gone. I'm like, oh, what? Where did shit go? Where did my headache go? It should have been there. I sure should have a headache. Where did it go? Shit, you take some Tylenol or some Advil, it should still be there. Be like, boom, 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 boom. You take some Bayer Advance, boom, 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 boom. And that's all she wrote. I'm telling you. That is all she wrote there. It's late. I didn't realize it. When I looked at Google Maps on my phone, oh, that's why I can't cover it up. Cannot cover up the mic. There we go. Mic is free now. There we go, little Mike. Oh, poor little Mike. Oh, he could not catch my sound, so I had to move my hand away from the mic. Oh, poor thing. Okay, you good now, little Mike? Okay. That's good. I just want to make sure. Wow, it's actually nice out here. They said it was going to warm up a little bit. This is definitely warmer. It's just a little cool, that's all. Just a little cool. I'll put on my sweater and jacket anyway, just in case, but hell, once I get to the train station, I may take off my jacket and leave my sweater on. How's it going? It is Thursday morning, one day closer to Friday. I'm definitely happy about that. Some crazy stuff happening. Some crazy stuff. I'm telling you, there's a lot of crazy stuff. I take that back. I think I'll keep my sweater on. It's a little chilly. It's chilly. It's a little chilly. But it's definitely going to warm up today. It's going to, according to the weather yesterday, it's going to be a little warm today. High, probably like 70, or I think it's going to be like 70 something, which is going to be nice, you know. Definitely better than 50 or 40. Jesus. I mean, who wants to? I don't understand people when it's like, oh, this is perfect. Let's get colder. 41 degrees and people are complaining about it's still too hot. Really? People like wearing jackets, I guess. You know, people who, I guess they were born and raised in areas like that where, like Montana or something, where it's freezing cold all the time. They only get summer for like a week, and the highest it ever gets is 75 degrees. You know, come on. I mean, you know, that's, and people are talking about, yeah, it should get colder. I love it. I'm like, I hate cold. In the 2 or 3 weeks of cold that we do get here in Texas, you know, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Let's get warm again. Good Lord, you know. It's just not fun. Yeah, it's Friday morning, which is happy. Makes me happy. Friday morning. Formula One is coming to town. And these are all the festivities that are happening in downtown Austin. Seems like they're setting up a stage right here. Is that a stage? Yeah, they're setting up this place. It'll be quite interesting. Oh, they turned this into a one-way street.
Yeah.
Wow. Got the Texas Lottery here. eBay apps. A lot of sponsors here. Sponsors everywhere. Pirelli or Pirelli. Tires, right? Maybe after work I'll come by and check all this out. Hey, I get off work at 6 o'clock. How long does this go on tonight?
Cars over here, there's some cars over there. Go to the left. Ferrari out there.
Oh, okay, but how long does all these events happen?
She'll be here till Monday.
Oh, I mean, no, but tonight. Because I get off work at 6.
Oh, no, we'll be here till 3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning?
Oh, yeah.
Woo,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we'll be here.
All right. I'll hang out for a couple hours.
Live band, concerts out there.
Oh, okay. I'll check it out. Thank you. I might do that. Why the hell not? Pepsi. The Next Generation. Remember that shit? The Next Generation? What up? Haven't done this in a while because I've been shooting at night recently. So I haven't done this in a while. But you guys enjoy the scenery, right? Yeah, I hope you guys do. That's all you see is a bunch of bouncing lights. And there's Whole Foods headquarters. There it is. That's it. You know, all these businesses will be taking advantage that are down here of all the Formula One events. I'm going to go to one of the races sometime next year. I definitely want to check it out and see what it's like, you know? It'll be fun. Haven't been to the car race in years. I used to go to the Long Beach Grand Prix a lot when I lived in Long Beach. Of course, Whole Foods is going to protect their parking lot. Yeah. I got like 15 minutes for my shuttle pack. I need to go to the bathroom. Seriously. Alright, I got myself a Whole Foods breakfast taco on flour with egg, turkey, sausage, and cheese. I got a regular drip, extra dark French, with 2 pumps of vanilla and a cup of bumping into everything here, and a cup of organic donuts. I'm interested in seeing how that tastes. I just went into the Office Max right here in downtown Austin, off of 5th Street, between on Lamar, 5th Street and Lamar. And not one person came up to me and said, "Hey sir, may I help you?" Or, nor did they say, "Hey, we'll be with you in a few minutes." And I was standing for about 10 minutes just waiting and waiting and waiting. All I did was pack up my stuff that I wanted to ship. I needed to ship something. Because I was in a copy area where the FedEx window was. I just packed up my stuff and left and talked to a manager. Yeah, not a good customer service. When someone's waiting in your store, you need to let them know if you're busy. You need to let them know, hey sir, we'll be with you in a few minutes, okay? You know, something to acknowledge, you know, that you're standing there. I think you guys can see what I'm looking at. Formula One. Awesome. About to go check it out right now. So let's go check it out. You must be going on your 12th hour. I saw you this morning when I was walking to work.
You're going at your 12 hours.
Well, I'm about to hit the train and go home. But I want to check this out a little bit, you know? Yeah. All right, Formula One. This is not the Formula One track, but this is where all the events are happening. I mean, it's a big to-do here. But the races is still far away. So let's check out some of the stuff that's around here. Is this going to be a permanent display?
No, we're in the middle of the street.
Oh, no, I mean, they're going to move it to a permanent, or is just for the weekend?
Yeah, we're here all weekend. We're always here.
Okay, that's good. It looks good. What's your name?
I'm married.
Nick? All right, Antonio. You have a good one. I wonder how I can win a free case.
In 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
All right. Doritos. All right, let's check out the next booth. They got little races up here. I hear music. Yeah, this is what they mean by closing down the street. The whole damn street's closed. Hey, YouTube, if they got copyrighted music on this, sorry, it's in the background. And computers. What is that for? I want to see what that's for. Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, and Mobile is sponsoring that car. And Boss. Paintings. Oh, that's some cool ass paintings right here. All right, this is called the Austin Fan Fest 2012. They got all the different food. Oh my goodness. This is the reason why I stay fat. Oh, this is nice. Look at some of these photographs. And my camera is not going to capture the essence of these photographs. Very nice. You're Greg Davis? All right, how you doing? This is my vlog. Is it okay to get you on? Okay. Wonderful photograph. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Here are some people still setting up. They got Red Bull everywhere here. YouTube, do not ban my channel, please. I'm only filming an event here. Okay. All kinds of copyrighted music. Austin Fan Fest, folks. So that people can walk freely. Oh, here comes a couple motorcycles. Look at this. Those are bitchin' ass motorcycles. Look at that damn muffler. That is insane. Isn't that a beauty? Look at that motherfucker there. Wow. Now that's a bad motherfucker there, folks. Look at me. Woo-wee! Look at that beauty. They got some beautiful cars here, I'm telling you. Look at that Beamer right there. Shit. That is gorgeous. Oh no, that I like right there. Look at that. Beautiful. Your wallet, now on your phone. I actually wanted, I saw this earlier today. Hey, excuse me. Are these, is this app available for Android, Apple, and Windows Phone?
Anything with an NFC chip inside.
Anything with so that excludes iPhone.
It's pretty much any smartphone on your iPhone.
Okay.
The new one that came out.
Right. Windows Phone? Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Totally.
Thank you. That's my favorite phone. I want to see if I can get a brochure on this so I can get more information about this. Because this is part of the NFC technology that they really do expand upon. All right, that's playwithisis.com if you're interested. All right, let me get out of here. You walk up some more here. Whoa, some more cars. Woo-wee. Now my father will be interested in this. My father's really into these kind of cars here. Look at that bad boy here. Alright, I just finished with Kinko's, and I just want to check out and see what else they got here. Oh, here's the track. Look at that. Do a helicopter fly over. All right. Pretty darn cool. Yeah, I wonder what that stage is up there. It seems like a really cool hangout for jazz or something like that. Huh. Oh yeah, you're probably wondering, so, well, don't the last train run? All day tonight. Well, they started doing Friday and Saturday night runs on the Metro. So that's a good thing, right? But this weekend, from like 10 o'clock in the morning to midnight, well, it's going to run till midnight tonight, naturally, on its current schedule. And then it's going to run from 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 midnight. So it's going to run all day Saturday, which usually only runs 4 to midnight on Saturday nights. And then on Sunday, it's going to run from 10 to 8 p.m. so that people can attend this event. And then from here, you can also catch a bus to take you down to the Formula One race itself. Now, I don't know much about the F1 race, but hello. You want to catch you on tape? That car seemed like it was going to run me over. Hey, sir. I do a vlog, and I just want to ask you, how much is the most inexpensive room here tonight?
There is not. It's $590.
$500 or more. And it's like that across the city. Very expensive tonight. I just spoke to a gentleman who works for the Capital Metro, and when during the rush hour, they run 4 trains, for the frequency of like every 30 or 40 minutes. But when they run once an hour for late night flies on Friday and Saturday night, and I guess this Sunday as well for the special event, they run 3 cars and at a time. They can't see you. Woo, the train is packed. A lot of people coming out this train. Seriously. They need to run this thing more than once an hour. Seriously. A lot of bicycles. This video has been going about 6 minutes now. And the security guy, the police said 6. The train should have left already.
It's crazy. Oh, let me get the Chris.
Yeah, they're getting all that Christmas stuff together now. Man, it smells like pines over here. Smells good.
sHiZ.
Don't forget to like this video.
That's where I usually walk. But I think there's another way to walk this. Here we go. Yes. It goes under the street. This little sidewalk here. Quite interesting, actually, because it ends up on the other side. Sorry if the color kind of goes off a little bit. I got it on a, oh. There used to be lights under here. Look at all that. This is a well-maintained underpass here. Like I said, well-maintained. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I don't think I ever go under here again. Nice. Oh, being facetious on the nice. Okay, that sucked. I could have fell right on my ass. Okay, this is where it ends up. Okay. I thought there was another. Alright, coming back home from getting some stuff from the store. And of course, if I'm not going to videotape anytime, what am I trying to say? It's Saturday afternoon. It's early. It's only like 2 or 3 o'clock. I'm not sure. when the camera's in video mode, I don't see the time. But in case I don't get to talk again, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, like us on Facebook. We're on Facebook. Just go to the description below, and you'll see a link to our Facebook page. If you're on the website looking at this, on the right-hand side, under sHiZ social media, you'll see the link to the Facebook there as well, inside the one of those Windows phones tiles that you see there. We also see a link to Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, and many other social networking sites is all there. You also find my email address. Hit me up at sHiZ.us. And if you go to the website, sHiZ.us, make sure that you click on the register button in the upper right-hand corner and sign up to be a member. And this is Antonio Edward signing out for this week. This week's vlog, in case I don't shoot again. Peace!
Don't forget to like this video.